Well, man, what's Star Wars new today? Out of the blue, I was making a video about how much I love the 80s. Took some time off Twitter, which usually I'm on Twitter all the time. Come back to find out Lord and Miller has been fired, or they stepped down from the Star Wars movies. Now, of course, the statement was that they left for creative differences, but Variety, hold on, let me pull it up here. Variety is reporting that the two were fired, that they have been clashing with Kathleen Kennedy since the very beginning. Insider source tells Variety it was a culture clash from day one. She didn't even like the way they folded their socks. So that's crazy. So apparently this has been something going on since the beginning. There's rumors that they've talked to Ron Howard of coming in and finishing up, starting over. I don't know if what they're gonna do. If they're gonna go back and start over. They were 4 months into it, from what I understand, what I've read. They was probably a month away before ending everything. Then they was gonna go back late summer and do reshoots. But this is just stunning. So I'm just curious what other people think. I'm sitting here reading stuff too as it comes up right now, so excuse me if I'm like stuttering and everything. Of course, the Lord and Miller released. We'll see what I'm talking about. Lord and Miller released a statement. Unfortunately, our vision and process wasn't aligned with our partners of this project. We normally aren't fans of the phrase "creative differences," but for once, this cliche is true. We are really proud of the amazing and world-class work our casting crew. And that's what Miller said. Kennedy released a statement too that said Philip and Christopher Miller are talented filmmakers who have assembled an incredible... God, I can't talk tonight. Phil, Lord, and Christopher Miller are talented filmmakers who have a absolute... Can I try this again? Philip Lord and Christopher Miller are talented filmmakers who have assembled an incredible casting crew. Man, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. But it's become clear that we had different creative visions of the film, and we've decided to part ways. Now, Kathleen Kennedy's statement is part ways. Of course, nobody in Hollywood's going to say come out and fired it unless it was some major reason to fire them. But, you know, everybody's going to play nice. But again, Variety was reporting inside sources had told them that Lord and Miller were fired. That's correct. We're fired from the project Monday. So let's see what else we got. I'm going to check on Twitter and just see what's going on over there. See what any you guys have to say. Let's see. Again, this is not rehearsed. Everything I'm reading right now. So if I kind of like stumble and everything, that's why. This isn't really about Han Solo, but I would love to see Jon Favreau direct a Star Wars movie. I don't know if I want him to come in over and take over a mess of whatever Han Solo's become, but Jon Favreau, I was a Jon Favreau fan long before Iron Man. I mean, I loved, of course, Swingers is what introduced me to Jon Favreau. He didn't direct, but he wrote it. But I love Made is one of my favorite movies of all times. He directed it, but I love Made. Swingers, Zathor. Did I say that right? It's a good kid movie. It's not, it's not like one of the greatest movies ever made, but watching it with my son or my kids, it's a really good kid movie. Elf is a fantastic Christmas movie. What else has he done? Chef. He did a movie called Chef, which was really good. I loved it. And of course, he's done Iron Man and some of the big movies. But I haven't seen Jungle Book, but I really love Jon Favreau, and I really wish, because he's a Star Wars fan. It's not just that he's a great director and writer, but he's a Star Wars fan. In fact, on Twitter, his logo for a long time, I don't know if it still is, was a R2 unit. Okay, let's see what people on Twitter are saying. Eric says, well, if they were clashed with Kennedy and Kasdan, they need to go. I'll trust Kennedy and Kasdan's vision over cool, edgy directors. Well, that's kind of true. I mean, Kennedy's got a good track record as being a producer. She knows what she's doing. I have all the confidence in the world in Kathleen Kennedy. And Kasdan, how can you not like Lawrence Kasdan? I mean, he wrote Raiders of the Lost Ark. He wrote Empire Strikes Back. He wrote with J.J. Abrams' Force Awakens. He's done so many great stuff, especially as a writer. Um, if I had to say right now who could come in and direct the film, I would say Lawrence Kasdan. He's got a good history of directing. He hasn't really done anything major, blockbuster, great movie in a long time, but that doesn't mean he can't come back and do something great. And he apparently can work with Kathleen Kennedy. He knows Star Wars. He's been around Star Wars since the early days. Um, so I would love to see if anybody's going to take it over. It would be Kasdan. One of the rumors is Ron Howard, and I can't. I mean, Ron Howard's a good director. Don't get me wrong. I just can't see him coming in, picking up the mess that's been made and finishing it up. Because any director like Ron Howard is going to want to come in and put their own stamp on it. They're probably going to want to start all over, I would think. Especially one like Ron Howard. They need somebody to come in and just clean up whatever they feel is a mess or whatever needs to be cleaned. Or just really what Kathleen Kennedy or what Star Wars seems to want is somebody to come in and do as told. That's the problem when you get somebody like Lord and Miller. When you get somebody that's a really named director that really has their own vision and their own style, they're going to want to come in and make their own movie. Sure, you can give them guidelines of beats to hit and stuff, but when you start trying to tell these guys like Lord and Miller how to direct, that's when you're going to get a lot of feedback, especially from directors like that. Like you can't. Christopher Nolan, I'm sure he's not going to sit there and listen to Kathleen Kennedy and everything. When he's got a vision in his head of what movie he wants to do, that's what he's going to do. I mean, everybody can take notes and he can give them this kind of structure, what kind of beats to hit, or something they want to happen in the movie, but it's up to the director. And don't get me wrong, I love Kathleen Kennedy. I think she's awesome. I think she was probably the best one to hand Lucasfilm over to. But if you're going to hire these directors to have a vision, let them do their thing. That's why you hire them. If you just want somebody just to follow directions, just go get you a director just out of film school or something and find somebody that's just going to do what you want them to do. Let me look back at Twitter now. Andrew says give it to the Rogue One director. Well, the thing about that is they kind of fired him, didn't they? I mean, I guess they didn't really fire him, but they went back in the reshoots and all the rumors and everything is someone else directed most of those reshoots, which was a lot of the movie, it seems like. I had his name up here, the guy that came in for him, but my computer's been real slow. So, of course, Gareth Thomas directed Rogue One, but, all the rumors and hearsay is that he directed one film, they didn't like it, they came in and did a bunch of reshoots, and he worked with a new director to get that new cut. So, I don't know if you can give it to Tom, unless he means give it to the guy that came in during the other time. This other guy writes, I trust Kathleen Kennedy to give fans what they want, or at least give us a quality Star Wars story, no matter what. Yeah, I trust Kathleen Kennedy. At this time, Kathleen Kennedy hasn't done anything to really throw my trust away that she doesn't know how to handle Star Wars. Okay, let's see if I got any more of the comments. Let's see here. No, somebody else is bitching about the guy that's going to direct episode 9 because he did a bad movie. Apparently, Book of Henry isn't getting good reviews, so everybody's like he needs to be taken off episode 9. But most directors don't have a 100% track record, so he made one bad movie. And get this, here's the thing. People that's never seen Book of Henry, right? They're all saying it's a bad movie. Why? Because critics have gave it a low rating. Because Rotten Tomatoes has it like a 20-something%, low 20s. So all these people are saying, oh, it's got to be bad. Look at Rotten Tomatoes, 20%, it's got to be horrible, right? Well, these same people, if you tell them the prequels all got fresh ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, they got good reviews. Well, except for 5 minutes, but it barely almost got fresh. And it had fresh until 3D was released, and then they went back. Then when 3D released, they got bad reviews. Blah, blah, blah. But it seems these people see Rotten Tomatoes and they see Bad Henry and they think, oh, this guy's not a good director. But then you tell them, well, look at the prequels. You bashed the prequels and they all got good ratings. Oh, and then they change on you and tell you, oh, Rotten Tomatoes stupid. It don't matter. It's not what the critics say. And they give you all these excuses. But it's just funny how when something fits their agenda, then, they're all for it. But as soon as, it moves away, you know what I'm saying. Hold on, I just got another tweet. Did you read this? If we're going to turn Han Solo into 21 Jump Street, I jumped sheep. 21 Jump Sheep. Oh, I can't even read. Sorry, guys. It's like 11:30 and been up all day. Did you read this? If you're going to turn Han Solo into 21 Jump Street, then good riddance. That's apparently like kind of what they were going for. Let me click on this Hollywood Reporter, and see what they're saying. Okay, on the Hollywood Reporter, Star Wars. Why the Han Solo film directors were fired. So I guess everybody's running with this fire report now. So I know Variety, I think, was the first one reported, and they didn't have any sources. I mean, they had unnamed sources, and but I think everybody's going with the fire now. It seems like. Let's see. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. There's another source talking to Hollywood Reporter. I don't know if it's the same source, of course. That the style and vision of Lord and Miller's clash with Lawrence Kasdan, the legendary screenwriter behind Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark, who also wrote with his son the Han Solo movie. Yeah, I trust Lawrence Kasdan. Now, I was happy when they brought in these directors. Because I like Lego movies. That's about the only thing I've seen them do. So, but I thought from what I've seen them, they would probably do a good fit. But if you're gonna clash with Lawrence Kasdan, yeah, you might have to go. Because Lawrence Kasdan knows Star Wars. In fact, he knows Han Solo too. Han Solo's like his favorite character. And if anybody's gonna write Han Solo, it's got to be Lawrence Kasdan. So let's see here. Lord and Miller, who did 21 Jump Street and Lego Movie. Now, I've never seen 21 Jump Street, but I hear good things about it. That they have a comedic side. See, it seems like from everything I'm reading that these two wanted to do more of a buddy comedy movie where Han and Lando are like buddy comedy. And that's not what we want from Han Solo movie. But if we're 4 months into filming this thing, you think they would have worked all this out before getting 4 months into it? The creative clash, according to one insider, also comes down to differences in understanding the character of Han Solo. People need to understand that Han Solo is not a comedic personality. He's sarcastic and selfish. I don't know who the source is, told Hollywood Reporter that, but they are right. Anybody making the Han Solo movie has to know that. Let me read that again. People need to understand that Han Solo is not a comedic personality. He is sarcastic and selfish. That's Han Solo, and that's the Han Solo we want. Let's see. Let me just scan through this again. Okay, well, I don't see anything much new in this new Hollywood Reporter. Unfortunately, okay, that's just the statement. The production has gone to hiatus, so I guess we try to work everything out. Kathleen Kennedy says a director will be named shortly, so I don't know if they have somebody already, or they're probably just in talks. I would guess that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms had to have been talking to somebody. They had to have a backup plan for letting these two go. That you just don't let them go and then have no backup plan ready to go. Ron Howard is one of the names that has emerged according to sources. Now, they're going according to sources. And again, I can't see Ron Howard coming in unless he's going to totally redo the thing. But I can't see him coming in and taking over and finishing up the movie. Joe Johnson, who directed The Rocketeer and Jumanji, has been mentioned as a possible candidate. Now, Joe Johnson created Boba Fett. Am I right? Is that the guy, Joe Johnson? And he wanted to do a Boba Fett movie. I've always heard that. Even back when it was owned by Lucas, he talked to Lucas about doing a Boba Fett movie. Again, I wouldn't mind. I would love to see him do a Star Wars movie, but I don't know if I want to see him come in and... Because that's going to be the odd thing are they going to go back and reshoot everything? Or are they going to start over? And if they do start over, that's no way they're going to make that May date. Are they? They're not going to make a May 2018, May 2018 date. So they're going to start all over, I would think. I mean, for everything I'm reading, it seems like they're just going to have to scrap this whole movie and start over. If that's what they're going to do. And if they don't, who are they going to give the credit to? If another director comes in, is it going to be... is there going to be 3 names on the list of directors? I mean, and Lauren Miller's going to want their name taken off, but if they reuse some of the stuff they filmed, it just seems like a whole disaster. Okay, of course, this is a Hollywood Reporter. It is expected that a new director will take the next several weeks to find when the production shuts down to go over what Lord and Miller have shot, re-edited what they have filmed, and go on from there. Okay, according to this insider, Lucasfilm should have let me read that again. According to the insider, Lucasfilm should have known going into sorry, I'm just reading this. I'm trying to look at Twitter and everything. Lucasfilm should have known going in that a clash of tones could occur even with Lord Miller's previous work. But this is not the first time Disney and Lucasfilm have had to take direction turns with Star Wars. Okay, that's what I was saying about it goes. Tony Galore rewrote and directed the reshoots of the Star Wars Rogue One movie. Okay, let's go back to Twitter and see what's going on over there. See if we got anything. Nothing really good. Let me see. Well, of course, when you got to record these. Okay. Let me just check on my YouTube so we got anything over there. As long as the movie. Okay. Well, I don't know what else to say about it. Let's see. Okay, but this is. I'm just trying to check around everywhere to see what we can come up with, and I just want to look around everywhere and see what all the talk is. Let's check Riddick. I see what's going on over there. See if anybody's got anything in it. 1 million, nothing really good here. Now, in other news, rumors of Star Wars trailer coming next month. Nah, it's not coming next month. I don't know. Some website said that there was going to be a Star Wars trailer next month, but don't look for a trailer. If anything, look for the behind-the-scenes reel at Comic-Con or most likely D23. Let's see. I'm just trying to see what somebody said. Not true to me. Who said that? Okay. Let's see. Lord Miller. Next movie is not clear. But already, they already got a movie lined up. Maybe they just ready to go. Rumor is they might do The Flash. Ugh. I don't care about seeing no movie about a man that runs real fast, but I'm not really into comic book movies all that much. Although I did see Logan. I know this is off topic. We're supposed to be talking about Star Wars, but I saw Logan. Oh, that was a good movie. Y'all seen Logan? Whew, that was good. Let me get back over on Twitter. See if there's anything new going on. Let me read this. Hold on just a second. I don't see anything new to talk about. Again, this is all breaking news. But again, it seems Lord Miller was fired. I know everyone says that the first reports came out that they just both kind of agreed to step away. But all reports from insiders are saying that they were fired Monday or early Tuesday, which I'm sure they seen coming because production was halted already. So apparently they've known it was coming for a long time. But this is going to be an interesting next couple of months, I'm sure, especially with D3 and Comic-Con coming up, because they was going to have to start promoting this movie very soon. I still didn't really like the May date just because I got so used to December, and we got The Last Jedi in December, and then 6 months later, Han Solo. I'd rather give me a chance to breathe and take in The Last Jedi. Give me a year for Han Solo. So if anything, maybe this will get the date changed, get us back in December. But according to the statement from Kathleen Kennedy on the Star Wars website, is right now they're still aiming for that May 2018 date. Okay, well, like I said, I don't really have nothing else to add. I mean, it's all been said before. I was gonna see if anybody had anything. Let's see what's going on Twitter. See what everybody was blowing up about, but nobody really wants to say much on here tonight. I asked for comments. I got a few, but let's see here. Let's see. We got some new comments. Let's see what they say. Kathleen Kennedy sounds like a badass. Okay. Do you think it's completely true? The source, yeah, there's a lot of unnamed sources. That's always, that's kind of like, take that with a grain of salt, when they tell you. Well, the good thing is, if you're a director out there, and apparently Lucasfilm's going to look to hire a director, so you might want to get that application, that resume ready. In other Han Solo news, Woody Harrelson did a little promotion for his the new Planet of the Apes movie, and he was asked about Han Solo, if he was a mentor. It came out that he was a mentor to the Han Solo character, and he says, well, it's not really a mentor. He's kind of a bad guy, but he does some stuff that maybe, Han looks up to. So, I was really curious about this movie, and I really like to see where they're going with it. But, I've seen people say, oh, they're going to cancel it. They're just going to start over. They're not going to, they're just going to demolish the whole thing. But they're too far into this movie to just, they're way too much into it to get rid of it. They've spent too much money on this. Who would you like to see do this Han Solo movie? That's the thing of who do you get? And I think I talked about this already, but who do you get to do it? Like a Ron Howard, he's not going to want to come in and do cleanup work. He's going to want to start over and put it on. Sorry about that. Ron Howard's not going to want to clean up somebody else's work. He's not going to, work his. And if you get, so who's going to clean? Who's going to do this? Because if you got two directors, you're going to have one directing style edit into a whole nother director style, or you're going to start all over from the beginning, lose everything they've done. Oh man, this just seems like a nightmare. It's been done before, but it hadn't been done with Star Wars. That's the thing, man. You have to be very gentle with Star Wars. You can't have a Fantastic Four type situation. Can you imagine if we go see the Han Solo movie or the next Star Wars movie and it's like Fantastic Four? Whew. No, I hadn't seen Fantastic Four, but I've heard. That's enough to get me from not seeing it. Okay, well that seems I don't think I can add any more to this right now. Hold on, before I go completely, let's click on Twitter again, just make sure, see what people are saying. Okay, well, a lot of people say it's clear there's going to be a disaster, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a disaster. They can fix it. Look at Back to the Future. Classic movie. And they filmed look at Back to the Future. Look how much of it they filmed with Eric Stoltz as Marty, and then went back and changed the main actor of the movie. So, if you can do that, you can do that with directors. It's not a lost cause. It's probably a nightmare for the people involved in making it. But they can save Han Solo, and that's the lesson we need to take out of this. Don't panic too much until we learn more what's going on, until we see a trailer at least. I was hoping to see a trailer at D23 or Comic-Con, but I don't think we're going to see a Han Solo trailer for a while. In fact, I know they keep saying it's still going to be released in May next year. I will be very surprised if they still make that May date, but they might can do it. They might have had known this was coming months from now and have everything worked out to where they're ready to go, So it might not be as messy as we think it is, just learning the news. Like I said, they may have been knowing this for months and have everything worked out already and have another director ready to slide in there who's already looked at the situation and know what's going to do. So, again, of course, you already know if you've been listening, Lord and Miller, the directors of Han Solo, are out, no longer directing Han Solo. It seems, according to inside sources from Hollywood Reporter and Variety, and it's pretty good chance that this is right, that they were fired Monday or Tuesday by Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm. And the official statement is creative differences. Variety said that they didn't even like the way the two guys fold their socks. But hopefully we'll learn more over the next couple days, and this will just be a footnote in the history of Star Wars. And next summer this time we'll be praising Han Solo and whoever the director is, and we'll all fall in love with the movie. So thank you for listening, and keep your eye on StarWarsJunk.net.